results leave Gordon Brown, whose political survival is still a major talking point. The scale of the defeat will set the scene for a tense meeting this evening of the Parliamentary Labour Party, where the Prime Minister is expected to address his backbenchers. Rita Chakrabarti reports.
What would they think of us if ever we walked away from them at a time of need?
Gordon Brown has been desperately weakened and wounded, but still he vows not to walk away. His allies are calling on rebel MPs to put up or shut up. Today looks like being decision day. This morning, former Environment Minister Jane Kennedy said she lost her job in the reshuffle because she couldn't give a pledge of support to Gordon Brown.
I was asked if I wanted to stay in government, and if I did, would I give an assurance that I would be in support of Gordon Brown? And I was unable to give them that assurance, and therefore I've not been reappointed to the government.
Downing Street roundly denies the Prime Minister asked for assurances of loyalty from Jane Kennedy. But Gordon Brown suffered another blow when another backbencher went public in withdrawing her support.
He has done a phenomenal job for the country and for the government and for the Labour Party, and he doesn't deserve to be humiliated, but it is time for us to move on. And I think that those closest to him should talk to him about that.
Key dissidents trying to unseat Gordon Brown have been circulating an email which says, "We are writing now because we believe that in the current political situation you can best serve the Labour Party and the country by stepping down as party leader and Prime Minister." But have they got the numbers to strike?
One leading rebel described the situation as very fluid this morning. He and others are hoping the party's terrible election results will mean that other MPs come out against Gordon Brown. But even if they have the numbers and the momentum, and at the moment it's not at all clear that they do, what the rebels don't have is an alternative figure to stand against the Prime Minister. And the rules say that in those circumstances, Gordon Brown simply can't be dislodged.
One backbencher said the party shouldn't be panicked into ditching the Prime Minister.
The message I got from my voters on Thursday was they admired Gordon Brown, they thought he was the right person to be leading the government, and they were astonished that Labour MPs were attempting to undermine him.
The mood is dark, but do the rebels have the strength to come out in the open? It's crunch day for Gordon Brown, but for those who want him out too. Rita Chakrabarti, BBC News, Westminster.
Well, I'm joined now by the new Welsh Secretary, Peter Hain. Mr Hain, thanks very much for being with us. Stephen Byers, your former Cabinet colleague, said on Friday, look, what determines this is whether Gordon Brown is a winner or a loser in these elections. We've got the answer, haven't we?
No, I don't think we have. I mean, we've had a big kicking. This has been a catastrophic result for us. There's no beating about the bush on that. But people were sending us a message that, first of all, they wanted the parliamentary expenses scandal cleaned up. We're doing that. Secondly, that they wanted the government to take them through this economic crisis. And there's no better person than the Prime Minister, Gordon Brown, to do that, as he showed at the G20 only a few weeks ago when the rest of the world's leaders saluted him for helping to save the world economy. But the public's giving him no credit. Well, this is a very unusual time in parliamentary politics. We've never had a situation where the House of Commons has been held in such low repute because of the expenses situation. And in that, as I found on the doorstep, it's almost been impossible to get any other voice through. But there's no doubt that we as a government have got to govern more effectively, we've got to listen to the grassroots, and we've got to make sure that we explain to people as well, if I just make this point, that what people got in Wales, particularly for the very first time, when they didn't vote Labour, is they got a Tory government. And I do not believe people want a Tory government to start their multi-billion-pound cuts programme yet again.
Well, you say you're going to listen more carefully, and then you're already saying, well, the voters got it wrong in Wales by voting for the Tories.
I didn't say that they've got it wrong, and quite the opposite. Many stayed at home. Most Labour voters didn't vote for anybody else. They stayed at home in protest to give us a kicking. But what they got was a Tory victory, and that's what happens. We've got to listen to stop to ensure that Labour voters want to come out and support us in the future, but it is now a very clear choice between a Tory victory and a Labour one.
And very quickly, do you believe that tonight will resolve the question mark over Gordon Brown's future one way or the other, or will the sniping just go on?
Well, I think that has already been resolved. He has a new cabinet. He has a commitment to really improve the way that the government connects with the voters and make sure we're doing what they want us to do, which is to take us through this period of tremendous economic stability and make sure we support them, because there are lots of families in great difficulty.
OK, Peter Hain, thanks very much for being with us. I'll be back at the end of the programme. But now, Sophie, back to you.
John, thank you very much.